Shalom, brothers and sisters. I am so excited to show y'all I've hit my goal. What goal? The goal of making water. Listen, I'm so excited, it's not even funny. I'm gonna send this video out to a few people. I have to, because they need to know. I'm talking mainly homesteaders. But this is the moral to the story. I've hit the goal. What's the goal? Making water. All right, now listen. I'm going to start from this way and work my way back to show y'all how it's made. All right, so this is the moral to the story. Y'all see the blue tank, 55 gallon. Y'all see the white 5-gallon bucket with the pipe leading into it. All right, in that bucket is sodium chloride rock salt. Let me repeat that. Sodium chloride rock salt. The purpose of that is it's a natural absorber. It sucks the water naturally out of the air. This is what it does. Yo, I was Googling because I'm constantly, trying to hit goals. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's on and popping, I can't be doing it after the fact. It has to happen now. So, make a long story short, I was Googling how to do a dehumidifier. Make the long story short, it came back sodium. This is Google. I'm going to have in the comment section, as usual, I'm going to have pinned. I'm not going to post anything from Google. I'm going to just have it pinned exactly what the question y'all need to ask Google, and let y'all get your own results off of those questions. But I know that it works because a natural dehumidifier. I know that it works because I had a bunch of salt. It wasn't the big boy salt like I have now. I'm going to show y'all the salt. But it wasn't the big boy salt like I have now, the big boy rock salt. It was the little small, little teeny pieces of salt. I'm going to show y'all salt as well. But anyway, I went to pick, this was about 5 years ago. I didn't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? I stumbled across it after I found out the information through Google. I realized what took place when I had picked up a bag of salt. I picked up a bag of salt. Salt always comes in, we're talking rock salt to put down for snow. Snow salt. So anyway, excuse me, rock salt. So anyway, the bag was sitting on the floor and it was open. But because the salt is a natural absorber, I went to pick the bag up and water was coming all out of the bag, at least 16 ounces. I mean, water was everywhere, and I'm thinking, how did all this water get in the bag? Maybe I spilled something in the bag, not knowing it was just sucking up the humidity out of the air. I didn't know. I had no knowledge of that. But after I found out, that was the first thing came to my mind. So anyway, so we're going back to this, right? So up in the corner, I have a thermostat. That thermostat is for to let you know when the humidity is high, when the humidity is low, and excuse me, that's there for the purpose of so we'll know when it's drawing water. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all the salt. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the salt. Now, the higher it is in the air, all right, so this is the salt. Y'all see what kind of salt it is? This is big chunks of salt. This is, according to Google, this is what you want. This is just broke down, it's untampered with, it's uncut. You know what I'm saying? All right, now this is a breather. So it's a pipe. I'm gonna show y'all how I have it made and everything. So this is a pipe with a little teeny hole in the top that leads to the hole in the bottom. So I don't know how this is going to crystallize. I know it's going to crystallize because that's what salt do when, it get wet. It start clumping. So I don't know how it's going to breathe. So I made a breather so the water can flow out of the bottom as it's collecting. It goes straight into the 55-gallon drum. I have this is 1.25 inches. This is 1.25 inches PVC. So I'm gonna show you how everything is made though. So anyway, I taped it up to keep the pipe stable like that because a 2-incher or 1.5 inches wouldn't even, 1.5 inches wouldn't even fit in there. So I had to go with 1.25 inches. But anyway, so that's what that's hitting for. That's 50 pounds of rock salt. All right. Again, that's the thermostat, so to let us know when it's working. But it's only going to work when the humidity is high, because that's what it does. When humidity is high, it sucks the water out of the air. This is the salt we was using. This is the not using, but this is the salt that I said that when I picked up. These are 2 bags I had put together so I could put a lid on it. But the point is, it was like a half of a bag, and when I picked it up, it was at least 16 ounces of water came out of the bag. It was all over the floor, and I'm thinking, where did all this water come from? When I picked up the bag, it was because the salt had sucked the humidity out of the air, but I didn't know it at the time. All right, now let me show y'all this, how it's made. All right, so this is how it's made. So I just showed y'all when it was is in the bucket. So let's just say it's right side up. Let's get the focus back. So let's just say it's right side up. But at the bottom of it, let me show y'all this. All right, so this is a brittle filter, water filter, right? So I took I opened it up and I took the guts and I poured it inside of this, right? This has at the end of it, it has the hole. This is how it is in what I just got finished showing y'all. That's ShamWow, right? It has a piece of ShamWow in it. Then it has the contents, which is the filter portion that's inside of the pipe. And then I took another piece of ShamWow, pushed it down in there very lightly, just until it touched. Once it touched, pulled the pipe back out, because I just want to keep it all in place. So as the water is coming out of this, if anybody ever used the Brita water filter, these flow pretty fast. They not stagnant. They almost damn near as soon as you pour the water in, 5 minutes later, the water is filled up in the other portion of the container. So these flow pretty fast. But it's just so we're dealing with salt, because that's, is rock salt. You know what I'm saying? It says the salt is collecting the water. Of course, the salt is going to melt, but to what extent, I don't know. But of course, it's going to melt. So, all right, so that's how it is. All right, now let me show y'all the guts. All right, now this is a double portion that I made to extend the bucket, because I don't want to work with this showing when I take it off of here, because it keeps slipping out of my hand because I be holding that. But this is just a half of the bucket that I had from when I made my water filter. So that's all it is. I'm using that, but I decided, because it extends the salt. I get the salt all the way up to here with this on the inside. With this on the, I put the hose on it. The hose have to be below this piece right here, because this will work as support. All right. So that's how it's hung up on the wall. But anyway, so let me take it down there. Let me show y'all the inside. All right, so this is how the inside is made. So that's a 1.5 inches, like an 1.5 inch plug, a screw-in plug. I just drilled a hole into it. So this is how it's made, what I showed y'all just now. So what I done is used ShamWow. Y'all remember the ShamWow? You know what I'm saying? It don't mold or anything. It's super exorbitant, right? ShamWow was from way back in the day when we was, I'm 56. So ShamWow was way back in the day from when we was young boys. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thickness of it right there with the two overlapping each other, right? So this is going to work as a filter because, you know, salt is a crystal and salt is heavy. So we're trying to filter, get a lot of the salt out of it, the salt itself out of it, right? So that goes over the hole like that. And then let me grab the breather. All right, now this is the breather I was telling y'all about. It has a hole in the bottom. This is the one that y'all just seen that was in the bucket back there, and it has a hole in the top. That's so, because I don't know how everything is going to breathe, because the way the air, the way the water flow is, in order for that water to have a proper flow, you gotta have air that's coming in. And if the air is coming in, then the water gonna go out because the air is going to allow it to breathe for it to flow. So I don't know how that's going to work. So that's why I made the breather to go inside of it, right? So, okay, you got the breather there. Then you got the two pieces of ShamWow. There's two pieces right there. All right, then you come in with the third piece of shit. And this one goes in wet or at least damp. So that way it'll stay in place. It'll stay in place when you put the salt in it, right? So you want to, tighten it up, tighten everything up as much as possible, But it'll be wet, a little damp, wet it, drain it out or whatever, and then it's damp, so it'll stick a little better. Just this one is the only one that needs to be done like that. Hang it up. You got to hang it up first, because, man, when you put that salt in it, that's 50 pounds of salt. That's 50 pounds ain't heavy, but it's heavy. Anything is heavy when it's in an awkward, you're trying to hold it in an awkward situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is right there. And again, in the comment, and also I got the rock salt off of Amazon. So I'm gonna give y'all the exact. It's 50 pounds. Each bag is 50 pounds, and it's sodium chloride rock salt. This is what the Google says. This is the world's best way. I'm like, damn. See, I knew all you got to do is just keep looking and keep working and everything. You're going to hit your goal. You're going to hit your goal all day long. So this particular bucket, see how it is? Just like the other one, it's just not in the 55-gallon drum right now. Got the, you know what I'm saying? A brittle filter, filter at the bottom. On the inside, with the rubber boot. The thing with the rubber boot is you want to make sure that the drain piece that's in here, right? Now, see, all of this is, ShamWow is super exorbitant. It absorbs really heavy, really fast. So it's going to allow the water to flow. So this is it. This particular bucket is made for back there. So once we start working on the let me show y'all real quick before I run out of time on this type thing. But man, I'm super excited about this because I know it only take time. You keep working on it, you're gonna hit your goal. All right, so 1, 2, 3 is 4 rows of 55-gallon drums, right? So it's 4 by 4, so it's 12. So we have 12 of them. So the moral to the story is coming off this third row right here, coming back all the way back to the last one is where we're going to hang it at right there. I don't want it to interfere with the TV. That's a TV there. So we're going to hang it there. Same format as it is. These are the buckets I already made them. So I'm making everything now, putting everything together. Well, all right, so I'm making everything now, putting everything together, so that way, when it's on and popping, All I got to do is as we use, because we can't put those in effect until we knock back one of those. But this one, soon as we get one of those started, we're going to pop it right in. Because once we get it started, that right there alone takes 20 gallons. So once we get the one that we're going to use in the third row, in the very back, that's going to be the one we start with. Once we get that popping, we're going to put this up. So that way everything is in place, and the time that it starts need to making water, it's going to make water. We don't got to worry about it. It's going to do it automatically. But again, let me do a close-up on this one, because I can. It's a little closer. So that's the thermostat, right? I bought a 2-pack, but actually I bought 4 of them. You gotta have, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what time it is. 1 is none, 2 is 1. So I bought 4 of them because I have this one and then the one hanging in the back. So this is the front of my house. But anyway, so I'm gonna have that one over here. So right now, as y'all see, this is on low, a 30 low. But I'm not gonna need this anymore. That was eliminated. This is the moral to the story. That's eliminated. Don't even need that no more. I cut back on my electric, the whole 9, because I don't need that anymore. So the brand new one that I have, I'm going to sell it or either pawn it and cop some kind of money back from it, because I don't need it anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to use that to get more salt. So I'm going to pick up at least 3. I'm going to have at least 3 of these situated. So I'm going to have one here, the one that's already set up because I had the drum, so I figure I already just put it in place, let everything ride, and then one upstairs where my stove is at. I'm going to move the stove, move the cabinet, move the shelf out of the way, and put that one in the corner, hang it to the ceiling, and let that ride. Now, this is the thing with these. Let me show you. Man, I'm so excited with this. And I know I will hit my goal. It's just a matter of time, but you got to stay about your business. Okay. Now, the reason why I have that not sitting on top of that, but high, I really wanted to get it higher, but I had to hang it first before I could put the salt in it, right? So as y'all can see, the breather hanging up. So anyway, to make a long story short, when you Google humidity, is it better to have the humidifier on the floor or to have it in the air? And they say put it in the air because humidity is like a hot air balloon. It rises. Okay, that's what I need to know. And I wanted to really take it like real close to the ceiling, but it would be hard to put more salt in if we need to, or break it up so it could constantly be on the absorbent side, or whatever we need to do. But it's already in place, and come this summer, it's gonna kick right into action. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna kick right into action, and there you go. And we got the pump to put into that side. Now, when I put everything together, I had drilled that open a little bit in the middle to make it bigger for the pipe, because I didn't know if the pipe was going to fit, but I didn't clean it out, but it don't matter. We're going to run that through the other filter when it's time. If we're using it for water, we're using it for drinking, or we're using it to flush the toilets, whatever. So this is it, brothers and sisters. I'm so excited. It ain't even funny, but I'm going to share this video out. I'm going to send it to people, especially to the homesteaders. If I thought I had more time, I would do another portion to the video. And actually, I am going to do another portion to the video, strictly for the homesteaders. Shalom.